The woman is a born priestess. She ignites, guards, and preserves the fire of faith. Why is a woman more suited to being a priest than a man? She has a much better connection with the higher world than men. It is proof of extreme ignorance on the part of the Catholic Church to keep her away from this office. Why is it that women are often awake to the subtle world? It is because their hearts are far subtler, which makes transcendental perception easier for them. It is women, and women alone, who can solve the problem of the two worlds. Throughout history and across all cultures, women have played a predominant role in religious cult. For example, the biblical prophetess Deborah, the druidesses of the Celts, the priestesses of India, Egypt, and Greece, the Pythias of the Oracle of Delphi, and the Roman Sibyls and Vestal Virgins. Overcoming the ominous separation of the worlds, bringing the material and the spiritual spheres into harmony, moving heaven down to earth and earth closer to heaven, is a matter dear to the heart of a woman. From the very beginning, woman was chosen to link the two worlds, visible and invisible. The woman weaves the thread on which souls ascend to heaven. From earth up to the far-off worlds, woman succeeds in weaving wings of light. She knows how to preserve the chalice in different atmospheres. Her refined heart enables the woman to communicate with beings, teachers and masters from higher worlds, and receive messages from them. A shining example of this is Helena Röhrig, who for years had almost daily spiritual conversations with a Mahatma, which were recorded in her diaries and ultimately incorporated in the books of Agni Yoga. Visionaries such as Saints Birgitta of Sweden, Hildegard of Bingen, Teresa of Avila, Catherine of Siena, Frances of Rome, and many others stand before our eyes as shining examples of the higher abilities of the man of the future. They were not only blessed with occasional flashes of insight, but so richly endowed that they were able to write entire books full of divine wisdom. Direct communion with the highest forces needs to be passed on to women. Women as seers or fortune tellers are an integral part of popular wisdom. It is wrong to always speak only of male spiritual teachers or gurus. Precisely women are destined to be teachers and guides in the spiritual realm. Woman, the bearer of sacred knowledge, can become a calling power, kindling with fiery words the souls that are ready. It is, of course, no coincidence that the spiritual foundations for the coming age of Aquarius were conveyed to 3 women. The secret doctrine, Isis Unveiled, and numerous other theosophical writings to Helena Blavatsky. The teachings of the temple to Francia Ladue, and Agni Yoga to Helena Röhrig. The greatest truths are revealed by women. Reality confirms this. Throughout history, women have always been the guardians not only of the hearth and temple fires, but also of the fire of culture. When woman enters as the protectress of culture, all life will become transformed. Did you not already experience how a single woman in a society of male colleagues immediately raises the cultural level? The so-called stronger sex pulls itself together, is ashamed of its coarseness, and all of a sudden refrains from primitive animalistic behavior. The woman who strives to knowledge and beauty, who realizes her lofty responsibility, will greatly uplift the whole level of life. There will be no place for disgusting vices which lead to the degeneration and destruction of whole countries. Who else turns a household of men, which often resembles a den of predators, into a cozy home for the family and a haven of culture? Who ensures refined manners, civilization, and beauty everywhere, in home and garden, in appearance, in clothing, in interpersonal relationships, in everyday life, and on feast days, if not women? I, for one, can confirm that every girlfriend or woman with whom I had a closer relationship has introduced me to a higher way of life and taught me to refine my habits. It is in the nature of women to cherish and cultivate the arts. Aber zufrieden mit stillerem Ruhme brechen die Frauen des Augenblicks Blume, nähren sie sorgsam mit liebendem Fleiß, freier in ihrem gebundenen Wirken, reicher als er in des Wissens Bezirken und in der Dichtung unendlichem Kreis. Women typically have what is called a green thumb for flowers. Why is the participation of women so necessary in experiments with psychic energy? Why is woman's care for flowers so beneficial? In the hands of women, plants wither more slowly. A woman's leadership goes beyond the private, the cultural, and the spiritual spheres. A true woman is a queen, like Cleopatra, the Queen of Sheba, Zenobia of Palmyra, Eleanor of Aquitaine, Elizabeth I of England, Maria Theresia of Austria, Catherine the Great of Russia, Elizabeth Sissi of Austria, and Queen Victoria. Right now, the task is to create a spiritually sovereign position for women. A shining example of a spiritual and secular leader who was able to inspire because she herself was inspired is Saint Joan of Arc. Guided by visionary instructions of Saints Catherine and Margaret and the Archangel Michael, she initiated the liberation of France from English occupation. Women must take on leadership positions precisely in government, institutions, and commercial enterprises. If the special female perspective and approach are not respected there, their work will be less successful. Woman, bearer of the sacred power and knowledge of spirit, can indeed become the leading one. Let us not forget that for every important achievement, the feminine principle is absolutely necessary as the foundation and essence. But I don't regard myself as a leader or queen at all. Well, spiritual leadership, providing orientation, is necessary at all levels, right down to the care, upbringing, and education of children in nurseries, schools, and universities. Over and above man's work stands the manifestation of woman. She leads, she inspires, she guides on all paths, and she displays an example of synthesis. It is astonishing how quickly she enters any domain. My sister, earn the title High Lady by becoming a queen of the spirit. This is possible in any social position, even as a poor, simple worker. Where does a woman's claim to leadership result from? From her infallible heart knowledge. It enables her to judge correctly, to distinguish correctly, and to show the right path.